Hello everyone, this video is for assignment HTML Basic Tags Freshman 101 index page. And what you're going to be doing in this video is creating a website called Freshman 101, and then you're going to create the very first page in that website, which is the index page or the home page, but we save it as index.html. So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to do this for you so you can see how it works. You're going to open Code HS, then you're going to open your sandbox. Where it says New Project, you're going to put Freshman 101, and then you're going to click the Start Program button. From all the list of languages, you're going to choose HTML, and then again, click Start Program. On the middle section of your screen, there's going to be a line 1, and you'll see code typed next to that line 1. And you're just going to backspace it off and get rid of that code. And then you're going to add the code that's on my next slide. So let me do that for you. So first I'm in Code HS. Now yours looks a little different than mine, but you have a sandbox button. Click it. And here it's going to say, put in your new program name, Freshman 101, and create program. Here you have all the languages. Choose HTML, and then click Create Program. All right, so there's the line that I was talking about. It's right across from line 1. You want to get rid of that. All right, now we're going to go back and we're going to type in here the code from the next slide. So the next slide starts with that doc type line with the caret, exclamation, doc type, HTML, and caret. And you're going to type all the way down to the end where it's the ending HTML. Now remember, every time you type an opening tag, it automatically puts in an ending tag. So just hit enter 2 times and you have a blank line. All right. Now that you did that, this is what it should look like. Notice we're not going to have it running because there's nothing in the body. And until we put something in the body, we really don't have any content. We don't have any visible content for the web page. All right, so now let's add some information. Now, everything that we're going to add from this point forward is going to go inside this body tag because our head tag is done. Remember, all we're doing is putting a title in that head tag, and now it's done. So we're here in the body. So the first thing we're going to put in is our headings. Now, headings are different than the head tag. Remember, the head tag is up at the top, like I just showed you. It has a title in there, and it is done. Headings are different. Headings are the first thing that a user sees when they open up a web page. It's usually huge up at the top, and it's usually an H1 line is the very first heading that you put in because you want that heading to grab the user's attention, so you want it big. And an H1 line or an H1 heading is the most important, and it's also the largest. When it goes all the way down to H1, H2, H3, all the way to H6, and H6 is the smallest and the least important. So H1's for your first title on your index page, or maybe even on every page. H6 is so small, it's like the fine print in a contract. So you're not most likely not going to be using that too often. But you will use H1, H2, H3, maybe even H4. All right, so now we're going to add that. So between the body tags, you're going to add this line. It's an H1 line. It has an opening and a closing tag, and it's going to say Freshman Projects, and that's a 1. So you're adding H1 Freshman Projects between the body tags, then save it and run it. And this is what it should look like. There's my H1 line, and then I saved it and then ran it. Looks nice. All right, now the next thing we're going to add is what's called a P tag or a P element. That's paragraph or double spacing. Notice the bolded or the highlighted text. You're going to add this information, just this bold information under the H1 line that you already added. You're going to do an H2 line. Say this is double spacing or paragraph. You're going to add 3 P lines. So these are paragraphs, but they're only going to be single words. P, red, with an ending P, and then blue, and then green. Now notice, I'm not adding those body tags. I'm not adding the H1 tag. I'm only adding the bold. All right, now here's what it looks like. Underneath my H1 line, I added an H2 line and 3 Ps. And again, I saved it and ran it. There's double spacing. Now let's compare this to single spacing. Single spacing or line break is that BR tag. I mentioned it before. Again, you're going to type the bold text and only the bold text. And you're going to put it right underneath the green line. Right? Now, I put an H6 so you can see how small it is. And if you don't like it, change it to an H3 because it is very small. Notice the BR tag is only once. You don't have an opening and a closing. It's just one tag. It's a single tag or a non-paired tag. All right, now let's look at what I did. So here it is. Here's my double spacing. There's my H6. There's my single spacing. Now take a look what I did over here. That's an H1. That's an H2. That's an H6. This is your P tags, which is double spacing. This is your BR tags. Notice the single spacing. I also put the BR after the color because I wanted the enter after the color. I wanted the computer to type orange, then hit enter once, then purple, hit enter once, and type yellow. If I wanted the space, the enters before the colors, I'd have to put the BRs on the front of the colors. All right, but you only put them once. All right, next is a horizontal line. Horizontal lines are pretty cool. All it is like a separation or a divider line between sections of your web page. And it'll be a line from one side of the screen to the other. But all it is this. And again, I mentioned this before. It's an HR single tag. It's also what's called a non-paired tag. The slash is after the HR. I put 4 in. One after the H1 line, one after my last P line, and 2 after my last BR line. All right, so take a look at that. And I'll show you my screen. So here it is. There's my first one after the H1. There's my second after the P, and I put 2 down here because I want to play with them a little bit. And look what it did. Nice divider lines that separate sections of your web page. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, I don't want you to type this yet. I want you to look at it. Every time you have a tag, or most tags, you can add what's called an attribute. And an attribute for a horizontal rule or a horizontal line would be height, width, or background color. Those are attributes. Then after that, you give it a value. So the height attribute has a 30 pixel value. The width, in my case, has a 40% value. And then the height, the width, and the background color. I added all of them here. But let's just look at the way the code is. Look where my HR is. Well, this one doesn't have any attribute. But look what I did. All I did was click after the R and type a space. And then I typed all of this information. Style equals, and in quotes, height, colon, 30px, semicolon. Now I could put 50px, 100px. I could put whatever px I want. This slash and the caret's already there. You don't have to add it again. Now that's for height. Now for width, I did the same thing. Click right after the R, hit a space, type all of this. Now the width is done in percent. Because height is going to look like this box where it has this border around it. That's what the height's going to look like. But the width is going to be across the screen. So 40% is probably only going to be maybe a line about this big, when 100% goes from one end to the other. Now that when you do the color, this is background color. Now I put all 3 in, but the background color has to be done with height in order to get your color. All right, you can't just do background color. But notice what I did. I put style equals and I put one set of quotes and I put all 3 of them in here. But I did the same. Look, height, colon, well, I put 25 px's, right? And then semi. Then width, colon, 50%, semi. Background dash color, colon, red, semi. So the pattern is the same. Don't forget, ground is Ground. All right, now let's put this in. So in the first one, I'm doing nothing. I didn't put anything. And the second one, I want height. I put 30 px's. You could put whatever you want. Don't skip any of these little symbols or it will not work. Then I put in width in my third one, and in my last one, I put height and color. Now I hit enter here, but you don't have to. You can type this straight across. So let's look at it. Height, colon, 30px, semicolon. Then you can just keep right on typing. Background dash color, colon, red, semi, and then a quotation. You do not have to hit enter. All right, so now we're going to put those in. Show you where I put them. First one I did nothing. The second one I put height. The third one I put width. And the fourth one I put height and background color. And look what it did. This is plain with nothing. This is height. Look, it looks like a box. It looks like a text box. This one's width. And this one was height and color. So you have to put height, or you'll still have something that looks like this, because it's the border. The border is black, so you won't see the red color. Now you can choose whatever color you want as well. All right, pretty cool. Now let's go to the next one. Now, the last thing I think I want you to do is put in background color. Now, the background color I want you to add is to the body, which means the whole web page is going to have a color in the background. You do not add another body tag. You place this code inside the existing opening body tag, the one at the top. And here's your style equals background color tan. Look at it. Right here it is. Looks the same exact thing as when you put the background color in the HR, so the style didn't change. Now let's click over. Right, there's where I put it. I even put a big arrow showing don't add another body tag. You're putting this inside the body tag. So click after your Y, hit a space, and type all this information in. Don't miss anything. If you miss anything, it will not work. And notice also that that code did not go in the ending body tag. It goes in the beginning body tag. And look at my tan color. Now, if you choose a color like blue and red and like black, oh, it looks so dark and so hard to read. It's better to go with lighter colors when you're doing a background. Now, one other thing I wanted to say is that we're doing what's called inline style. Now, we're not supposed to be doing inline style. We're supposed to be doing CSS style, but we do that. We just learned that a little later. But the difference between inline and CSS is, see that code right here? This code doesn't go away. This is the correct code. We just don't put it inside in a line of text. We put it somewhere else. But don't panic, because I do like to give color, and I can't teach you CSS till later. So now I'm giving you a little bit of color, a little bit of style. All right, so now I wanted to show you one other thing. And remember how you put red in or blue or tan? You're very limited. So in a blank browser, you can put in color picker. If you just type color picker in and choose from that search HTML color picker W3 schools, you can find your color, your shade, and when you write the code in, you choose the code that's followed by this pound sign. I'm going to show you what I mean. I think it's easier if I show you. So I put it in. This is W3 Schools Color Picker. If I pick on any of these colors, and I chose red, these are all the shades of red I can use. These are the codes you want to put. So instead of putting red, I could put pound FF0000. Or maybe I want this shade of pink. I put pound FFB3B3 in place of the word pink. So now your options of colors have just grown, tremendously. By clicking on any of these, you get all these shades. All right, so let's see the next slide. Last thing we do, and I want to show you this as well. You're going to be in your canvas, not your canvas, your sandbox. You're going to click on More. There's the output where you're running. So you're going to click on More, then Share. And then you're going to copy the link and you're going to put it into Canvas as a text entry in the HTML Basic Tags Freshman 101 Index Page Assignment. So I want to show you that. So let's get out of this. Let's go back to this. Here I am. Say I have something and it's running. Here's my output. Go to More. Go to Share. Let me back up a second. I did that so fast. Let's go to More again. All right, I got to go back into my Freshman 101 page. I closed it. Sorry about that. All right, here we are, back in. Here's my Freshman 101 page. All right, of course, that'll be gone. I didn't save it yet. So More, Share, highlight your link. You can do Control-C, hold the Control key, hit C, you saved it. Now you can go into Canvas, paste it into the text entry, and submit it.